ready for hot takes and insight from local industry experts in real estate, business, and lifestyle. He used to play ball with the Padres. He played hockey for the Lobos. Now they're crushing it in the real estate game. Together, they'll showcase the best of the Duke City. This is All About YouABQ.
Oh, that's right. It is all about YouABQ. Welcome back to another episode. We're joined in studio by the morning team at 100.3 The Peak, Jackie, Tony, and Ryan. Guys, welcome to the show.
That's snazzy. Like
We need a better intro.
That's a big intro.
I've learned a lot in the first 15 seconds.
Right? Yeah.
It's true.
All right, and that's it. Thank you guys.
Yeah,
We're just
this is
changing
good.
lives.
Thanks for having us. We got to get busy.
Yeah.
Well, I know you guys have had a long day. I mean, the morning radio show has got to take its toll on you on the sleeping side, but also I'm always a little cranky in the morning, so it's a pure talent that you can flip the switch and be fun and bubbly for the entire length of the show, and then come and do an afternoon show here.
Fun and bubbly.
Fun and bubbly. I got stuck on fun and bubbly. It's for increments. And then we quiet down and power up again.
And you're killing nap time, Skip.
Listen to me.
You're killing it right
Listen
now.
to me. If you need to tune out
This
for a
is it.
second, don't worry. We got multiple camera angles, so you can catch a quick
You
five.
can't see
your
off
head down.
camera, but there's a big couch over there that I got my eyeballs on.
It's a good one.
Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for being here downtown in studio. Now, the joke is always you have a face for radio, but I'm looking around here, and you guys are bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, good-looking folks, man.
2 out of 3.
We age in dog years. We get up that early. So, yeah.
Well, the show's all about Albuquerque, and Jackie, you're an Albuquerque kid, born and raised.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I moved here. I feel like an Albuquerque kid. I've been here as long as I can remember. I moved here my first year of high school and told myself I would leave the last day of high school.
Isn't that a funny story how you grow up here and you don't have an appreciation for Albuquerque, the mountains, the food, the culture, the cost of living, the no traffic, until you move away and then you have a chance to come back. For me, instance, I moved out when I was 18 and traveled a bunch, played baseball, and then had the opportunity to come back. And when I moved back, I was like, holy shit, there's no traffic here. Like there's
You can get everywhere in 20 minutes.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Food's good, all that stuff. But you're an East Mountains kid?
I am, yeah. I'm born and raised in Cedar Crest, and then I turned 18, moved out, and moved into the big city. And I'm still here.
It's funny, we'll have guests on the show that are from small town New Mexico, and they're like, God, my goal was just to get to the big city of Albuquerque. And it's just like, oh yeah, we're a real big, bustling city.
Who knew it was so aspirational?
But talk about Cedar Crest. We always threatened to move to the East Mountains, my wife and I. Get a little spread, get some donkeys. And I always said Cedar Crest is about as far in as I would go. Because you can go hella far, like to Edgewood and stuff, and there's not much out there. But I feel like Cedar Crest has everything you need.
Cedar Crest is great. It has, it's 20 minutes from town. There's a grocery store, which is great, so you don't have to go into town for that. And there's lots of great hiking trails, and one of my favorite breweries is up there. So I live in town, but I'm up there quite a bit at the brewery. So,
I've got some friends up there, and that's the best hiking in town, too.
Yeah. Ryan has a story about every place in Cedar Crest. We almost thought about moving out there too, and he ruined it for us. So,
Tell us about Burger Boy.
As long as you have no personal connections with Ryan, it's magical.
Right?
It's fine. But for the rest of you, go out there. It's picturesque.
Red Baron
It's
Pizzas
beautiful.
at the Triangle.
Yep, the old triangle, not the new triangle, the old triangle.
OG, yeah.
Rest in peace, Bella Vista.
Yep.
Oh,
See?
man.
Yeah.
He's
Local
a
kid.
True OG.
Oh, absolutely.
And then, Tony, give me your backstory.
I'm an Air Force brat, and so I decided after moving my entire childhood, I was going to get into an industry where moving is quite commonplace. So I moved to Albuquerque from Corpus Christi. It was going to be my springboard to go, to Phoenix or Los Angeles, some of these big cities we were talking about, and then fell in love multiple ways. Fell in love with the culture.
And me.
You have to
Mostly
fall in love
Ryan.
with Ryan.
I see the sparkle.
Yeah.
Fell in
mostly
love with the
Ryan.
mountains, and like you were talking about, you get here, and it's funny because as Albuquerqueans, we'll all complain about the traffic. I don't want to drive all the way downtown because it's going to take 30 minutes, and then you realialize, it's 30 minutes.
I'm stuck on Albuquerqueans.
It's funny.
Burqueños.
Burqueñas. But it's funny, even if you take a vacation, we just took a quick trip up to Denver, and it was like an hour to get to the airport, and then by the time you get downtown, you're like, God dang, this is people everywhere.
Yeah. No, you lose sight of it. We recently moved not too long ago, and We live in Corrales, and so you're in Corrales, and it takes 10 minutes to just get out of Corrales. And we're West Siders now for the first time, as opposed to being East Siders
what is that
for
like?
20-something years.
So-
They're not
Soldier
kidding.
soul.
I thought they were really just being dramatic about their commute over
Oh,
the
yeah.
river. You know, I personally apologize to 3/4 of the West Side population. I'll continue that because
Yeah.
it's awful, but it's great. I mean, there are great parts all over this.
The amount of complaining
Okay.
from over here about the 25-minute commute.
You want to talk about Burger Boy again?
I would love Burger Boy.
Give me the Burger Boy backstory.
Oh,
Oh, he's-
it is the greatest hamburger.
We're familiar
in
with
the
it.
area.
Yeah, yeah.
It is the
In the-
greatest
in the
hamburger.
area.
I worked at the restaurant next door and would go there on my lunch break.
okay.
I would pay for food to eat there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. After growing up, at least, a long day of skiing at the Crest, just absolutely smoked, coming back down the backside of the mountain, pulling into that Burger Boy and just filling your guts, just replenishing. I mean, that's a staple growing up. Everyone's got that memory.
It doesn't require skiing to do that, by the way. You could just
That's when
have
it's extra good.
you could have a bad Tuesday.
Plus, they
And-
have pictures of every 80s celebrity you could ever think
true.
of on the way. I mean,
Yeah.
Eric Estrada's on there. Captain of the Love Boat, I think,
That's
is on there
right. Yeah, there's a
somewhere.
few.
there.
Yeah.
3 generations of hurricanes, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah, Al Hurricane.
Yeah.
For sure.
Al Hurricane.
Junior in the third.
For sure.
That's beautiful. So let's talk about radio. I mean, you guys have been doing radio for a long time, and the show, I would imagine, has evolved. How have you seen your show or the radio industry evolve since, obviously, the internet and podcasting and everything else, but how has it evolved for you guys?
Oh, boy, that's where to start.
God, when I got into radio in 1995 or 6, the beginning of every shift, you would pull all your CDs, all your commercials were on carts, and that was it. You would stack them up and have them ready to play. Now it's, so many hours dedicated to social media, post-show podcasts, outside of just doing the show. I mean, it's, it's exponentially better than it was. I would say it's a lot more
Technically.
fun than it used to be as well. I mean, there's
Depends.
bits and pieces.
The show used to end. Now with social, it doesn't end
Never.
really
Correct.
anymore.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
always connecting, and we love that. One of the best things that we did ever, in my opinion, during the pandemic, we would sit and do Zoom happy hours with each other and listeners. And, that was fun for me.
Right.
I
No,
remember the first half of them.
Well, the thing, you bring up the pandemic. I mean, technically, radio has changed. It's night and day. It's night and day the way we do everything. And I think that goes for anybody in the entertainment industry. The way that we connect with the audience, to me, is the biggest change.
Sure.
Like Ryan said, it doesn't turn off. But the difference between local radio versus anything else is that you still make a connection with people that grows over time. It really is a friendship. And I think the pandemic, in a time when people were pulled apart, for us, it was very easy to stay together, whether it was the happy hours on Zoom and Facebook Live and Instagram Live, or we'd go around, we called it Party Patrol. But we'd show up at people's houses. We'd do the birthday parties. We'd do anything just to stay connected. And I think that's what still remains with radio and local radio it's an intimate connection. You don't find that very much anymore.
It's also one of the key parts of what we do on a daily basis that still remains the same as we're live. The minute we go on it at 6 o'clock, 6:05. Up until we're done. Up until we're done
See
at
you at
10
7.
o'clock, it's live. There's no trampoline, there's no safety net, there's no recording,
No script.
no script, no take two. Everything is live, coming right there from the studio. If there's an accident on 25 that's got traffic backed all the way up to the Big I, we can talk about it and be in the moment. If something big were to happen, you can be in the moment. That's something that live local radio still has the ability to do at its very best.
Yeah. And I think it is a very intimate connection because you've got me locked in for 8 minutes on my commute every morning and whatever it is, sitting in the office, getting yelled at. You guys are always the safety net. So I think that's something to hang your hat on. I think that's a real good
It means
connection.
a lot to us. It does.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about current events. And being in radio, I'm sure you guys get concert tickets coming out the wazoo and promotion, stuff like that. But this week, Tyler Childers was in town. Big fan of Tyler Childers. So my wife and I had a little date night with some friends on our current event here. Mark? Thank God Mark's not sleeping. Hey,
there he is.
Country concert.
Look at that.
Good
Yeah,
work,
country
yeah.
concert. That's my boy All Night Alan. He goes all night. But anyways, and then so my wife and I got our boots on, went out to the show. But it's a great venue, Isleta. I mean, I haven't been there since like high school. I had a buddy of mine, best friend, who worked in ticket sales, and so he had same thing. Like every weekend, he's like, "Let's go to Isleta." I got whatever shows in town. But I really hadn't been back since then, and I didn't know that there was like a VIP parking situation.
Oh,
Yeah, all the locals know it, but thank God my wife found out about it. She paid a lot for it.
Oh, yeah.
But we were the first ones out of the parking lot on a sold-out venue. And then we got a call from our friend who was not in the VIP parking. They were still in the parking lot by the time we got home. We were like getting in our PJs, and this is a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's really like cattle calling. When you get out of there, it's just like it's just stampede, like everyone running to their car.
Yeah, you better add at least an hour on.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah, so that's a tip for everyone out there.
Yeah.
If you didn't know that.
And get out there early. If the earlier you get out, we get out there at like 4. So there's no traffic coming in. And then if the show is on a Tuesday night, we're usually getting out of there before the encore.
Yeah.
So either get out there early and leave early. That's a big one.
So how many of the shows do you go to for pleasure, and how many are you just out there to kind of promote, be a face, or to be a host for somebody that's in town, something like that?
Depends on the concert season. It depends. We all have different musical tastes. Me, probably more so than the two of them.
Yeah.
We tend to stay out of the country concerts and leave them for the people.
That will appreciate them.
For the folks.
But they will appreciate
Talk
them.
about Corrales. I mean, I feel like you guys got to own some cowboy boots and Corrales.
no.
I have cowboy boots.
Shortalls? You guys have shortalls, right?
I haven't gotten them this season yet.
I go into the chicken coop in my sneaks.
We do have chicken coops, but he goes in and that. He goes in advance. Yeah. It just, it depends. If we're out there, if it's a big concert that means a lot to our listeners, we're there.
Yeah.
If it's a concert for us, obviously we're there. We spend a fair share of time there.
So you guys do typically, a 4-hour show in the morning?
Yes.
And how much preparation? Because I know for our show, we do our preparation, and then we have to have clips planned and everything planned. But on a daily show, I mean, we do it once a week, and it's enough for me because I'm also running a real estate company and other things. But I mean, how on earth do you guys do a 4-hour show every day? What your day starts at 3 a.m.?
Mine starts at 3 a.m. Yeah.
Well,
it's hair.
You're
and
put
it's-
together at least.
And Ryan's hair. Ryan gets up at 3:30 for his hair. Tony doesn't have hair,
don't have
so
hair,
he
so-
sleeps really well.
Cuts a couple hours out.
As far as the preparation, in the same vein that Ryan said that the show never really goes off the air, I think the prep never really goes away. But I'm not going to say easy, but the part that makes it bearable is that we live the lifestyle of our listener. We're engaged in the things that our listeners are engaged in. So if it's something that we're texting each other about, it's probably something that's going to come up on the show. So sometimes it just folds its way in.
It's just
pretty
another
seamlessly.
it's just another day for you
Right.
guys.
Yeah. We don't try to talk about things that aren't of interest to ourselves or our listeners, because it's about a friendship. It's about a relationship.
Sure, you don't want to talk over their heads or talk about stuff that they're not.
Oh, we can never talk over their heads. We're trying to stay up at level. Yeah, we've tried. We've tried. They laugh
You guys have
every
already
time.
hit your ceiling.
Exactly. We try to bring them down here with us.
And there's also, you tap into the authenticity part of it all, right? So we are who we are. If you run into us in public, we're the same people that we are on the radio. There's no fake stories or coming up with, nonsense. It's all, we all tap into our lives. So the preparation part of it is 24 hours. It's the minute we leave the show, you're thinking about what to do the next day, but you can go into the studio at 6 o'clock and connect by just being authentic.
I would imagine walking through the day, much like comedians, they're very observational, and they go, oh, you know what, that would be funny. Let me put that in my head. But I imagine you guys can't turn that off. You're walking through and you're like, you read something, you're like, yep, I'm putting that in for the show tomorrow. I
Yeah,
can't.
that's very true.
Oh, this guy, got a fender bender. Oh, this is going in the show tomorrow. Everything.
And
so
it does.
Yeah. But so 4 hours. So Ryan, give me your background as far as radio goes, because I know you started straight out of high school.
I started in high school.
In high school.
Same. I started when I was 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an internship at Manzano. Intern, worked for free for 2 years, and then they give me a part-time gig, kind of work my way up. I'm celebrating my 27th year, I believe, this year.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I'm weird because I've only worked in one place. I've only worked for one company.
One market?
One company.
One company.
Yeah, one company.
Wow.
Yeah, haven't fired me yet.
That's fantastic, because as we were talking about earlier, I mean, Albuquerque is usually just a launching pad or a stop
Right.
on the map for another market. So the fact that you've been able to stay here, stay local, stay
Albuquerque's
true.
been great to me. I met my wife here. We raised we're raising the second daughter. One's out of the house, and it's been great. I love this place. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, I met my wife in San Diego. I was living in San Diego doing playing ball and hosting a radio show in San Diego, and there's so much work that went into it because I was a one-man show. So
Yeah.
I was booking guests, trying to put together social, trying to get topical stuff to talk about. How big is the team that you guys have that produces your show, runs your show, handles social?
You're looking at the team.
1, 2, 3.
You're looking at the team.
So is that like, so after your show goes off the air, then there's another show that comes on, and is it the same thing? They have to run their own own stuff, or there's nobody that.
There's not, again, you go back to how has it changed over the years. Technically, it's pretty seamless. It's as easy as picking up your phone, really, in a lot of respects. So it doesn't require that kind of team, especially to run anything. Depends on the format of the show you're doing. I mean, so when you were in San Diego, was it sports?
Well, it was real estate based.
Okay.
Similar, basically this show, but
Right.
on radio.
Yeah,
Got
it's a little bit different of a beast when you're having to interview people for an extended period of time. For us, and why I don't think I would ever go back to a solo shift again, is we play off each other.
Yeah.
It's almost like cheating. When you have
You have the cheat
people
code.
in the room to play off of,
Yep.
when you have people that you share daily experiences with. I mean, we're trapped. We spend more time together. Well, I'm married to Tony. Ryan spends
What?
more time. I know.
Brand new information.
We wanted to tell you when it was over, but it was bound to
I
come out.
suspected this whole time.
I know, talk to you about Santa after. Ryan spends more time with us than he does his own family
Right.
on a daily basis.
Right.
So a lot of it is built in. It's built in, and it makes it easier to.
Yeah, no,
do.
I totally get it. Usually I have a co-host here, and the same thing. I told you the premise or the beginning of our show was just a couple of knuckleheads screwing around with a camera and a microphone, and then it kind of evolved into something more serious, and then all of a sudden we landed in a full studio. Like,
Yeah.
holy shit, we have to. All right, let's get dressed. Let's do this. Let's
Yeah.
make sure we don't look like complete knuckleheads. But it's always fun to have that partner that you can bounce ideas off of, or get ready. I'm going to tee you up for this, this segment or
Right.
whatever it is.
Plus, baseball analogy wise, if someone's having a crap game, the other players pick them up, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Which I can imagine 4 hours a day
Yeah.
on every day, someone's going to have an off day.
Oh, yeah.
Our show is about our lives. So for however many years we've been on the air, it's the evolution of our lives. So when something's going on with our kids, it makes it on the show. When something's going on with us, it makes it on the show.
So you don't have to hide what's going on.
We never do.
That's why.
We never do. And
Yeah.
I think that has been the key to this show, is that we share our life experiences. Tony and I are married.
What?
Yeah, wait a minute.
God, you didn't know either?
Got to get your head checked.
Yeah, I mean, so,
You hide it well.
those are the things that builds that relationship, is sharing that part, because we all go through all of the things that life puts in front of us.
The thing that I think, too, in that is that we are probably one of the only radio shows in the industry that has what I would say is a female lead. Jackie's name is first on the show for a reason. We're a female-targeted morning show. So there's lines that we won't cross, things that we won't discuss.
Sure.
One, because they're probably not friendly for kids in cars. We have a kids in cars rule.
Yeah.
We have to be cognizant of the fact that parents are going to tune into the show with their kids sitting in the back seat. So we want to make sure that we keep that in mind. But we also have a tremendous lead on the show who can engage with the target audience. The one in radio, because we don't have the cameras and because we don't have you always we converse with one another, but you always have that one person that you visualize is in the room with you. And that person's usually a 35, 37-year-old female. And you want to make sure that that's what you're catering your show towards.
Right.
And it's easy because we have Jackie in the studio. So Ryan and I have that in terms of there's times where we will look at each other and realize, don't say it. I know you're thinking it. I know you're thinking it.
That's what
don't
she
say
says.
it. Right, yeah.
Oh, they say it.
I'd say 70% of the time we say it, but
70%. Okay, fine. We'll leave that one alone. Sure.
Oh, that's great. That's great. So you guys do. Let me see. So talk about. More behind the scenes, because I think that's where I draw a lot of interest to, is behind the scenes. When it comes to sponsorship, is the station take care of sponsors for you guys, or you have some sort of say in trying to find sponsors, drum up money, anything like that?
So it's a collaborative effort. You're talking about advertisers, and then you're talking about a lot of time charitable efforts, and then you're talking about a big category for us. They're called endorsements, and that's where it is a personal recommendation. We guard those like Fort Knox. We do. Yeah. Because that's something, if we're going to endorse, if we're going to talk about,
Sure.
and for us, our rule that we try very hard to stick to, even though corporate has to say sometimes, is local.
Yeah.
Local businesses. That means a lot to us. That means a lot to us, especially now. It's hard for people. So sometimes those come in organically. People are like, hey, I know you come here. Can you talk about us? How do we do that?
And how does that work typically? If you go out for a fantastic slice of pizza, do you go, holy shit, let's promote this place? Or do you go, hey, for $20, we'll...
Oftentimes, if it's a local place, that's called plug-over. And that's a whole
more like
different SEC.
sell an ad type of thing.
So on social media, if we go out to a local place, we'll post it.
Yeah.
That doesn't,
For sure.
We're not going to nickel and dime anyone because we want to support.
Right.
If it goes further than that, and there's an establishment that's interested in that, we put them together with our marketing people,
Right.
and we'll work something out.
That's great.
So it's a collaborative effort.
Yeah. And so what part? I know you're a big behind the scenes guy. I feel like you're the Papa Bear of this whole group right here. How do you keep people in line and showing up on time?
It's a battle that I've fought for 22 years, and
How do you do it?
we all have our different roles on the show, both behind the scenes and in the show. I run the board, so if we're visualizing, you have a beautiful studio here. Our studio is kind of like this with TV screens and everything else, but then there's a big board right in the middle, and I run that. I run that every day. I have a setup of 4 computers in front of me, constantly trying to keep us on time, which is a battle that I lose on a daily basis. But that's my part of the management structure of all this. Jackie is really the content driver. Ryan sits there.
Right.
He makes sure
good
that
at that,
you
though.
turn on the
I'm
TV.
really good at it.
You turn the TV on in the
Turn
morning.
the TV on. I pet Olive, the
Right.
dog.
Pet the
the
studio-
studio
Every
dog.
morning, takes her leash
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
I hand out the prizes.
Yeah. But much like on the show, where you everybody has different roles in life.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, we all do our different things. And I think over the course of the years, we've realized who does what. And again, it works.
How often do you guys get guests on the show? Like musicians popping through that are on tour or anything like that? Or do you guys just try and keep it local, or keep your little family tight here?
We try to keep it local as much as we can. The pop-ins in the studio, it's a lot easier for people, musicians, which is what you specifically asked about. They have their own social media. They don't necessarily need to do that the way they used to anymore. If the opportunity presents itself and it's right for the audience, yes. We really try to safeguard, because we still play music in the morning. Sometimes you have talk show formats, and like 94 Rock, they're all talk all the time. So they can fill with different guests. We really safeguard who we bring on the show. Because we're guarding that relationship. We don't want to constantly be throwing stuff at the listeners. So usually if we have people on, it's because there is a community involvement, or it's something that means a lot to our audience.
Well, when it comes to community involvement, I know you guys give back to the community a lot. You guys are always doing promotions, stuff like that. Talk about some of the philanthropies or charities that you guys are behind, and plug any events that you may have coming up.
I think one of our biggest passions over the years, for as many years as I think we've been on the peak, it's UNM Children's Hospital, Radiothon. We're very, very proud of Radiothon and the awareness that has been brought to UNM Children's Hospital. But that's something that we're just the messenger. That all relies on families and children telling arguably, the worst time in their lives. But it's something that this community rallies around. We are big supporters of Watermelon Mountain Ranch, and have gotten a few dogs over the years.
A few dogs over the years from there. Yeah.
Woke up to some new puppies in bed.
Oh yeah. Ryan is a proud uncle of most of those dogs. A dog uncle. Yeah, you're a dunkle. Make-A-Wish.
Yeah.
That's one that we're heavily involved with as well. There are a lot of great organizations.
Well, on this show specifically, we always have different philanthropies and fundraisers, people stopping by to kind of promote what they've got coming up. And so we were always blown away by some of the things that are going on for kids with autism, kids with hearing problems. So colloquial ear implants.
Yes.
We got to learn about the ear hospital here. So there's always my mind's always blown about new businesses that are opening in Albuquerque. Stuff like that. And so the guests that come on, I'm just like, holy cow. And so even like Flick's Brew House opening, I think that was so cool because, they're coming through promoting it. And it's like, hell yeah, let's go figure out what's going on at Flick's Brew House, which is the new movie theater up in the Heights. But yeah, I think that's one of the fun parts of working in media is that you get to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a good perk.
And we're just ultimately it's the community that comes together. We've raised a large amount of money over the years for UNM Children's Hospital. We all contribute, but what we donate is tiny compared to what the community does and comes together and gives to these kids. Same goes with Make-A-Wish New Mexico, another organization that we absolutely love working with.
It's a very generous community.
It is.
And if you put something in front of the people in this town and this state, they answer, especially when it comes to kids.
I applaud you guys because you guys have a big voice, a big platform. I don't know, are you allowed to track how many people tune in each morning? Can you do that?
Oh, we can break it down in ways. I look away. I look away. He could give you every number he had to.
Nielsen measures it. I don't know how much we're allowed to quote it, in all honesty.
I thought it was 6 this whole time.
It is 6
It
listeners.
is. It might be 8 sometimes, and then it's 2.
Yeah.
We have 6 listeners at any point in time. So on average, in morning drive, on average, adults or persons 12 plus, so 12 to death. There's 75,000 people tuning in every week.
Lord.
There's got to be a better way to say that.
So 12 to death. They call it 12 plus. We call it 12 to death. Once they die, they can't.
No one's ever called it that until now.
They can't
Good for
listen
you.
anymore. But again, then you have businesses that come in and they want to see different demographics. And so our sales team, and we have a good group of sales people at iHeart that do a tremendous job. That is their whole gig, to pull up the ratings, sell the ratings, and everything else. We just, again, our goal is to get the ratings.
Yeah.
It's the leading the horse to water, right? We can get them to the water. We hopefully have them drinking. Now it's how many horses are there, and that's what our sellers do.
But if you concentrate on that, it'll drive you insane.
I know, right? If you shoot it out.
Absolutely. We try to put it away.
And the thing with radio that's different than TV is TV has 2 or 3 sweeps periods where it's just a couple of weeks worth of ratings. Radio is constantly rated. So there are 48 continuous weeks of radio ratings. We get ratings every month.
Wow.
So
Every day.
that pressure's always there.
Well, you guys have definitely risen above to be able to be a staple in the morning drive hour.
We're all medicated.
Caffeinated,
caffeinated, medicated.
Medicated.
Well, we do have some viewers on our show, and we're going to do a little segment we call Viewer Questions
Oh, no.
for celebrities. Mark, cue viewer questions.
Uh-oh.
All right, viewer questions. We're going to bump into it. Y'all must get some wild calls. What's one of the wildest calls or callers, craziest callers you've had call in? Funnest, most memorable callers. Or is
Those are
everybody-
all different
or is everybody-
categories.
Yeah. I'm not trying to say how many crazy people call you in the morning, but
We have caller ID now, so that helps a lot.
is there one caller that's just been the bane of your existence who just calls in and harasses?
A while ago, but that's kind of gone away because again we have caller ID. I'm actually sad about that because despite what people think, the prank calls on radio shows I think are hilarious. I love that someone took time out of their day to do it, so I enjoy it.
She does laugh.
I
every
do
time.
every time.
Every
I
time.
do every time. It's probably the calls from the Bernalillo County Detention Center that remain my favorite
You
of all
have a
time.
collect call from
Yeah,
the
from-
from an
Is this real?
inmate at the Bernalillo.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. It was more so at KISS when I used to work at KISS, but then I think we brought some with it. Yeah, those are the best ones.
We have a gentleman that I thought was messing with us for years. He goes by the name of Squirrel Master. And that guy, I thought he was just messing with us. No, he goes by Squirrel Master.
Yeah.
That's his name. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the calls though that stand out the most are the one where you've made the connection. They're not funny, but I don't know if you guys remember, we gave away a flyaway for somebody to go to see Taylor Swift in Dallas, I think it was. And this person just broke down on the phone because it was real, it was in the moment, their emotions got to them and they just broke down in
great.
tears. Just you couldn't get a word out of her for probably 5-10 minutes.
I mean, it's Taylor Swift.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
It was big. It was big. But also the detention centers. I'm gonna die on that hill.
Do you ever accept the collect calls? Or did you make that mistake one time?
Made that mistake once and you'll never do it again. The
That's how she
answer
got
is
Tony.
yes.
That's how she got
Yeah.
Tony.
That's how I met
That's where
Tony.
you guys
Shout out
met.
to Spider.
Yeah.
Shout out, Spider. Next one. All right, you guys are locals, big in the community. Put us on to something. What is your go-to hidden gem in Albuquerque? What's popped up that you guys like?
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. All right. Who's first?
I mean, Burger Boy, obviously.
Right. We hit mine. Burger Boy. A lot of people don't know about it.
Yeah.
I will say, moving to Corrales, we've hit up more food trucks in the last 12 months or last 18 months. There are some incredible food trucks.
At
out
Ex
there.
Novo, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Sandia Bar?
Sandia Bar as well.
Sandia Bar?
Yeah,
Is
Corrales.
that the new one, Sandia?
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Which, by the way, I heard is phenomenal.
Hidden gem, right?
that's my hidden gem.
It's a hidden gem. But
my
also,
hidden
there's so many food trucks. Doughbox, Umami Moto, just to name a couple. I mean, there are some incredible food trucks.
We do
out
have
there.
some good food truck culture here.
We have
We do. We have
incredible food
incredible.
trucks. Again, in Corrales, there are a handful of restaurants. It's all food trucks
Right.
if you don't feel like cooking. And we run him through Ryan because he's hit up every food truck that is.
You get the munchies, bud? or
I'm
what?
at a lot of
He's
breweries.
at a lot of breweries.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of breweries.
What's your go-to brewery?
I mean, how do I pick just one? Rio Bravo, obviously.
You don't.
I don't, and that's funny. Rumor in Cedar Crest has one of the best summer patios ever. La Cumbre.
What's your take on downtown Ex Novo?
I love it. The food is delicious.
It's awesome.
It's,
awesome.
It's,
It is so
yeah,
good.
it's incredible.
And
just
credit to those guys too, because they reinvested in downtown, right? I mean, downtown Albuquerque has had its ups and downs over the years.
Yeah.
That's a business that they saw an opportunity to literally tap into the market here, and they've done an incredible job.
Well, I think it's going to be a fantastic anchor because we always
Sure.
say, we work downtown, we're downtown all the time,
Right.
and there's just not much
Right.
to go off of. And so opening that, I think, hopefully will be
Gateway.
a gateway to
Yeah.
bring some more entertainment and fewer shootings.
now you just need a grocery store, right?
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, grocery store. Last one, last viewer question. What do you call a factory that makes okay products?
You're going to know. You're going to know. So just do it, dad joke.
Satisfactory.
Yeah.
A satisfactory. Yeah, you guys had that one previously, huh?
They're the worst. No. You never be proud of that, ever.
Yeah,
No.
it's that
boys.
energy.
What was your one from this morning?
Dad energy.
What's the West Virginia one you didn't use?
The toothbrush was invented in West Virginia. If it were invented anywhere else, it'd be a teeth brush.
Shout out West Virginia.
We got big viewers in West Virginia. There go our sponsors.
Forgot about that
You're going to
one.
lose all your teeth. They're going to be gone.
Well, I appreciate you guys continuing to keep the energy up and everything you do for the community here locally. Jackie, Tony, and Ryan, 100.3 The Peak. morning show. Thank you guys. We'll have links to all of your websites and everything on our show.
Thanks for having us, Skip.
Yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Skip Adams of Sold by Skip. This is YouABQ every Wednesday night, Sunday morning, and worldwide on YouTube. Thank you for watching.
You're watching YouABQ.